Welcome back to the Okaloosa Today Show. I'm Kathy Newby, Public Information Officer for Okaloosa County, and my guest today is the new Public Safety Director, Alvin Henderson. Welcome, Alvin.
Thanks, Kathy. I'm really excited to be here today.
How long has it been now? I mean, time goes by so fast. I started thinking today, how long has Alvin been here? Is it a year yet?
Not yet. Actually, I just finished my first 6-month probationary period.
Okay, very good. Perfect. Well, today we're going to let our viewing audience, our citizens, get to know you a little better. We're going to talk about our new Alert Okaloosa system, and we're going to get you ready. I mean, it is hurricane season, so we're going to make sure you all are ready for that as well. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Alvin, and how you got to Okaloosa County from Pennsylvania?
Well, it wasn't easy. I have been in public safety now for about 35 years. I started out as a volunteer firefighter, worked my way up through the ranks to become a volunteer fire chief, and then as our municipality was growing, I became the first municipal fire chief and emergency management coordinator. And during that time frame, I actually had a career in the corporate world for sales and marketing management. And ironically enough, as I was going through schooling for my business administration degree, I was also going for public safety certifications. Then my career kind of took a turn. The company I was working for was purchased. I was a mid-level management position that I held. They did away with those positions, and then up came an opportunity to go to work for Allegheny County as a consultant for emergency management, and that's when I started my career professionally in public safety. Worked my way up through an emergency management division chief up to the director position for Allegheny County Emergency Services. Ironically, I've always vacationed either in Myrtle Beach or here in Florida. My family from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania has all moved down into Florida with the exception of my parents. So we came down here vacationing quite often. I always knew I wanted to retire to Florida. I just love the area. One day I saw the opportunity for Public Safety Director for Okaloosa County, made the application, and thankfully I was selected as the Public Safety Director.
Well, that is a great story, and I like the story about your business career and changing public safety. I did not know that, so that's interesting. That's sure. You've been up through the ranks. It sounds like you're so well qualified, Alvin. You're doing a great job already. I know. I hear nothing but good things. Let's remind our audience too. For those that might not realize, because sometimes I have to remind myself, it's a big department. Let's talk about all the different divisions within public safety and kind of refresh everybody's memory.
Sure, and it's one of the subjects I love talking about because it's what really drove me here to Okaloosa County.
Is that right?
When I went through the interview process, I got an opportunity to meet with each of the division chiefs, and I was so impressed with the passion that they had, not only for the department, but the people that serve within their respective divisions. That really attracted me to this organization. So I love the opportunity to talk about them. One of the divisions we don't talk that much about, but means so much to our department, is our administration division.
Oh, okay.
They are really the people behind the scenes. You never see them or hear from them, basically, but they keep our department afloat. They push all the paperwork, do all the necessary administrative functions to allow us to maintain our personnel and keep all of our personnel working and on the streets. And by far, they're one of the most important divisions we have.
Well, definitely with all the different shifts that you all have for emergency responders, absolutely. I thought you were going to say 911 because they kind of work in the background too.
And that's my second one I like to talk about because I agree, they are very important. And it's one of those things where a lot of times they're the forgotten division of public safety.
Yeah.
And I call that out within police, fire, EMS organizations. We never really talk about our 911 dispatchers. They're truly the first responders.
Absolutely save lives.
That's right. They get that first 911 call. Many times they're able to de-escalate a situation where the public safety first responders do not even have to respond because they take care of the call when it comes in. Many times, obviously, they can't get resolution. They have to then dispatch the law enforcement or fire EMS out to that incident, but they're remaining online with that caller. Many times, for example, in medical calls, providing basic information over to that caller that can save a life.
Right.
And just like us that we're out in the field in the weather, they're in that environment of rapid calls coming in. There's days that they struggle just to take a 5-minute break to catch their breath during the day's activities.
Sure.
So they're truly our unsung heroes of public safety and truly our first responders.
Absolutely.
Then is the beach safety. Obviously, our beaches are beautiful here in Okaloosa County for us that live here and get to enjoy them on a day in and day out basis, but obviously for our tourism industry and the people that come here and experience our beaches and come here year after year. Our lifeguards are wonderful. Our Division Chief Rich Huffnagel for our Beach Safety Division, a phenomenal visionary for public safety, but also from the perspective of our lifeguards, taking an educational and preventive approach to their duties.
Absolutely. They're always trying to lower that response time to make it even faster all the time, trying to be better. And I really, admire that about our public safety divisions in that way.
Right. And one of the most important facets of their job that they take great pride in is the educational approach of people on the beach. And they're just not sitting on those lifeguard tires waiting for something to happen. They're down walking the beachfront, walking in the water, making sure people understand if there are any concerns that they have to be made aware of. They're making that contact to keep that patron from even getting themselves into a predicament within our surf waters.
Proactive, and that beach safety division's been successful. I mean, you can always have an accident, but
That's right.
we certainly have been fortunate, and they have worked hard to try and not have any drownings. So.
Sure. And then our emergency management division, a lot of times that's where, because we're prone to hurricanes and severe weather here in Okaloosa County, you hear a lot about them, but they're out there on a constant basis preparing for events. A lot of people like to refer to them as the doom and gloom crowd, but that's what their job is, to really take a look at what our threats and vulnerabilities are and prepare our citizens and our staff to be ready for those types of incidents. And they're working hand in hand right now with a lot of our Chamber of Commerces throughout Okaloosa County to have them engaged in our preparation efforts and our prevention programs, but also to work with us when we activate our Emergency Operations Center during an event so we can recover from that event faster and return back to normal operations. So they're constantly working and doing something that adds to the safety for us here in Okaloosa County.
Right, everything from Zika to hurricanes and natural events. So absolutely. Okay.
And then the Emergency Medical Services
Yes.
Division, and that's another division
EMS.
that is always out there, extremely a busy group.
Dedicated.
Oh, yes. And the command staff of our Emergency Medical Services Division, under the great leadership of Chief Tracy Voss, they are true visionaries in leading our EMS into new directions to make sure that we're providing the best services possible, looking for added ways that we can provide better services or more efficient services to the citizens and guests of Okaloosa County.
Well, and I guess a lot of people would be surprised that you also manage animal control.
Correct, I do. And it's another necessary area.
It's kind of a contract, though. It's a little bit different. But.
Right. That's the one division that I do not have direct employees. It's more of a contract oversight. But we work very closely with the contractor for our animal control to make sure that we're trying to enhance those capabilities and services that we offer. There's a lot of passionate people that work for that contractor, but also out in the community as well, to want to make sure that we're doing what we should be for the domestic animals that are in Okaloosa County, and whether it's a feral cat problem or a dangerous dog or cat situation, we want to make sure that we're quickly addressing the issue and trying to have favorable outcomes from animals that are either turned in or confiscated based on the activity that has prevented them from being able to remain out there with owners or out in the public's eye.
Right, even bears. We get a little bit of everything.
We sure do.
Lots of challenges anyway with all these divisions. So again, a lot of hard-working professionals to work to keep our citizens safe every day. So well said, Alvin. Let's talk about the new Alert Okaloosa system, which is taking the place of Code Red. You want to talk about some of the customizing options, and of course this is a big money saver. Let's just
Correct.
let our citizens know about that too.
That's right, and it's A new system that the state has migrated to. The Code Red system is being phased out, if you will. It's still active today as we start to migrate into the new Alert Okaloosa program. What we really are excited about is the added features that we could pinpoint areas of our county if there's issues and send out alert notifications. One of the things that we were kind of limited to the way we could alert through the Code Red system, and it was more of a all or nothing type of arrangement. What we're really doing now with the new Alert Okaloosa program is loading people in via the municipalities that they live in, the zip codes, and also the other support agencies that work hand in hand with us, especially on the emergency management division side. So it allows us to get information out very quickly. Probably one of the most important points that I want to make here is the fact that if you have already registered on Code Red, as we migrate to the new Alert Okaloosa app, you have to go in and re-register within our system. We have that icon on our homepage for the Public Safety Department. I know you actually did a press release on it as well that was very beneficial for us. We want to make sure people understand that it's just not a direct migration over to this new system. You still have to go in and re-register with us.
Right, but it is with the state and it is saving us some money, so we appreciate you doing that. And they can also customize this program very much so to only get called during certain times and things like that. So they have a few more options too with this Alert Okaloosa. So it'll be worth that.
That's right. It's worth its while to go and take a look and register and see what the options are.
Well, can you explain the difference between Alert Okaloosa and Ready Okaloosa? I think people get confused about that a little bit with Ready Okaloosa being our app.
Correct. And that's the important part of it. And it confused me as well when I first started with the department. The Alert Okaloosa is a call to action type of solution. That's where you're registering for those alerts to come out to you. So if you see Alert Okaloosa, think call to action, it's setting me on an alert. The Ready Okaloosa app is our app that we have for Android and iPhones that you can go in and get information to prepare for emergencies and understand a little bit more about each of our divisions. For example, with beach safety, we post the current flag of the day.
Right.
The beach warning flag system is posted there on that app.
A lot of information on that app.
That's for sure. You can click on the flag and it'll tell you exactly what it means that day. For example, it talks about our beach wheelchair program. A lot of people don't realize that we do have beach wheelchairs that are available, and the lifeguards deliver those to the people at the entrance to the beach. It's a great program that a lot of people have taken advantage of. It constantly grows. When I guess the program first started, maybe 30 contacts a year. We're taking advantage of that, and now we're up over 300 contacts in a season of people utilizing that great tool.
That's outstanding, because our beaches are for everybody to enjoy, and it's great that even our handicapped or more challenged citizens and visitors can take advantage of that beautiful scene out there and enjoy the beach. So,
and that's one of the things that we really do take great pride in, is the fact that our programs, we try to make it all hazards, but for all people. And that's why we have a great program in place with the beach wheelchair, but also our text to 911. We want to make sure that we're trying to have all citizens be able to engage into the services that we offer through the Department of Public Safety.
Right, right. And text to 911, of course, is you can text 911 if you can't call. Call first if you can, but text if you can't is the expression we want to press on that one. But yeah, great, another great service we didn't even have on here, Alvin, so I'm glad you mentioned that. Well, we're going to have to talk about hurricanes before we run out of time, and that's such a big topic. This is hurricane season. Of course, it started in June, but this really becomes our active season, July through November. So I thought we would talk a little bit about that. Let's just start with, you mentioned that we're trying to reach out to businesses and families and just make sure they have a plan. Let's start with that, I guess.
That's right. That's one of the most important things, is that you have a communication plan with your family. So if you are separated and all of a sudden something comes about and makes landfall, whether it's a hurricane or one of the pop-up storms that we could oftentimes see.
That cause flooding.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We want to make sure that you have that communications plan in place with your family. Know how to contact them and set a program in place where if you are separated, how you're going to communicate, how you're going to regather, and what those locations could be pre-identified as.
Right.
The biggest concern that we have in public safety is not to become complacent. We've been very fortunate the last couple years here in Florida.
10 years.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be another 10-year run still. I'd like to get a couple more, at least a few months or years under my belt before we have to deal with that. However, we want to make sure that people are ready, and that's one of the things that the Ready Okaloosa app can help you with. There's checklists on that.
Shelter list.
That's correct.
Maps to the shelters. I mean, there's and of course, if you don't have a phone, of course, I can't imagine anybody that doesn't have a phone these days. But if you don't want to download that app, it is free. You can always go to the county website too.
Right, and it's a great source of information that we have on the county website. Same information is there as well. Talks about evacuation routes and gives you some great templates and ideas to keep in mind as you're making your plan.
All right, very good. Well, and the county itself will keep you updated on the roads. I mean, we're going to do our part. Touch on that for about 30 seconds about, what the county does in partnership, with you taking responsibility for your family. We're going to take responsibility for those citizens out there. Briefly touch on that, and then I'll move into my public information update.
Okay. One of the things that we do when we activate our Emergency Operations Center, a lot of different departments come in to work collectively and collaboratively through that event. A lot of things that we're working on are street closures or route closures, what shelters are open. We push that information out through Alert Okaloosa and also through our social media sites that we have and the county website.
The county website. I mean, our regular website will actually disappear, and that emergency information will be right there front and center. So
that's right.
That's important to mention.
And then also, we have our 311 lines get activated.
Right.
And then they're able to call in with information, and we use the media as a resource for us that allows us to, as we start to get those frequently asked questions, we then make sure that we include that information on our next update and our press releases that go out to clarify any misconceptions, but also provide the most important information to our citizens and our visitors as well here in Okaloosa County.
Very quick update, Alvin. Thank you so much for joining us and letting the citizens get to know you a little bit today. And we appreciate your time. I'm going to move into my PIO update real fast. We do have the 2 mural paintings. They are complete at the Okaloosa County Administration Building, so come look at those in person and enjoy those. Our Okaloosa County Recycling Household Hazardous Waste Program is Program of the Year as declared by the Florida chapter of North American Hazardous Materials Management Association. And also want to highlight just real quick IT Director Don Vanderhoek for retiring. He, and with the County Commission support, has been instrumental in bringing the county up to date the last 25 years with fiber optics and with our GIS mapping system. So wanted to mention that. And with that, I want to thank Cox for our show today and for our other guests, the City of Fort Walton Beach and Destin. And we will see you next month.
Thanks for watching Okaloosa Today. Join us again next month to learn about local news and information for Okaloosa County, Fort Walton Beach, and Destin.